going on, guys? Elbow here, and welcome back to my journey on making a Unity game from start to finish. Before we get started, and I hate when YouTubers do this, I have to point out this little statistic that I'm sure you've seen other YouTubers show before. The one about what percentage of their watch time comes from subscribers, and I wouldn't otherwise show this statistic, except in my case, this number is only 5%. So if we can just get that number to 10%, my subscriber count doubles. Right? I think, maybe. Anyway, with that out of the way, I'm going to go through my process on Blob Ball over the last month. First, I should probably stop calling this game by the wrong name. I've decided after reading your suggestions that I'm going to name the game Dodgeballs. I think this name just makes a whole lot more sense, as the defining part of the name Dodgeball is the dodge part, not the ball part. I mean, Blob Ball could have been a number of different things. It could have been basketball with blobs, baseball with blobs, you get the idea. Now, after I settled on the name, I started working on the defining feature of the game, picking up and throwing dodgeballs. I had an idea early on that I wanted the animation for picking stuff up in this game to be quite unique. I mean, I couldn't exactly just animate the blobs with hands, I think that would be kind of creepy, so instead I wanted the blob to project this glowing orb forward that would basically be the equivalent of its hands, and that this orb would pick up anything near it. However, in order to pull this effect off, I decided to download a post-processing package, say that 3 times fast, so that I could get the glowing effect to work properly. And then I created the picking up code, and voila, I could pick up dodgeballs now. Of course, I still couldn't throw them, and that's what I worked on next. To my surprise, this wasn't very hard. After just a couple of hours, I had it working pretty well. You could hold down click to charge up the throw, and let it go to send it flying. Of course, it wasn't perfect, and I continued to fiddle with some of the values for a while, but at least it worked. Then, I quickly added some UI, user interface, to visualize the throw power, and I gave you a crosshair. Of course, the dodgeballs wouldn't often go exactly where your crosshair was placed, you know, gravity and stuff, but it helped polish the game a little. At this point, you might think that I was done with the throwing mechanics. I mean, you could pick up dodgeballs, hold down click for more power. Wasn't that all you needed? And while yes, I could have left it like that, I wanted to give the player the ability to be holding multiple dodgeballs at once. I thought, this will be easy. Famous last words. Of course, I'm making this more dramatic than it actually was, but this seriously took longer than everything I'd done up until this point. I don't know why. First, I just tried to get the UI to animate properly, which alone took a while to get right. In my defense, the animation system in Unity is not my strong suit, and for a while I did the animation through code. A very bad idea, by the way. Then I actually worked on coding the system. For some reason I thought this would be easy, but there were just a lot of things that I got hung up on that I didn't expect to even be an issue. But after a lot of coding, I eventually got the system to work. Was the code pretty? Hell no, but at least it worked. However, shortly after finishing that, I discovered a pretty big bug. If you looked at the ground with your ball, it would sort of clip through the ground, which looked really weird, and even worse, you could throw it through the ground, never to be seen again. My temporary fix for this was pretty simple. Just make the ball a little closer to your blob so it wouldn't clip through the ground, and make the floor thicker so that you couldn't throw it through the ground. While this did work, it also had an unintended side effect. Now if you threw the ball at the ground, it wouldn't go through, but it would launch your blob high into the air. At first, I didn't like this at all, but then I soon realized that, hey, this is kinda cool. So for now, I've decided to keep it in, although I did have to raise the walls quite a bit, so that blobs couldn't hop over them and get out of the map. Then lastly, I add a quick visual to show when your dodgeball's effective. Basically, as long as it's glowing red, you can do damage to other blobs. When it touches the ground though, it turns back to its original color and will no longer deal damage. And that was it. I know, I didn't get that much done, but considering all the other projects I've been working on recently, I felt pretty good with what I did get done. Next month, I'm going to try to polish up the game a lot. You know, give the game some actual graphics and work on the menus. Alright, you're at the end of the video now. If you liked it, consider leaving me with a like down below so I know. And leave any suggestions in the comment section below, and maybe I'll incorporate it into the game. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!